Hey y'all, I'm Mesa and welcome back to my channel. We are almost at the end of 2020. Thank God. But because it is the end of 2020, it means it is time for me to pick my top 10 favorite books that I read during the year 2020. This is gonna be hard. This year, I was actually pretty proud of myself with how many books I read. I believe I read 42, 43 books, which for me, that's pretty good because I'm a full-time student at university. I had a full-time job, I got let go, but through all of it, I still managed to find time to read for myself on top of my textbooks and, everything. So I'm proud of myself. Whether or not you met your reading goals this year, I hope the books that you read this year you enjoyed. I know I enjoyed so many books this year, so it was really, really hard to pick my top 10 favorite, but I did it. This is a spoiler-free video, so you don't have to worry about getting spoiled while I talk about all these 10 books. Let's just dive right into it. In 10th place we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brige Kemmer. If you're looking for a Beauty and the Beast retelling, this is the book for you, sweetie. I knew nothing going into this book, like completely nothing. I actually wasn't planning on reading it this year. What happened was the ebook was on sale for $1.99. You heard me, $1.99. And I'm like, I can't pass up that offer. I've been seeing so much of it on Bookstagram and everything. I'm like, I'll just pick it up. And then I got to reading it and I finished that in 2 days. 2 days, it was a book that I needed. I've yet to read the second book, but I'm planning on it. I have it right over there and I have the third book pre-ordered. In 9th place, we have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This, I loved it. I loved it so much. The enemies to lovers trope, If you were looking for a book with witches, pick this baby up. Because I personally read a lot of books where the main characters are fae. I rarely encounter books where it's witches. So this was refreshing. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I didn't like the second book. But the first book slapped. I'd highly recommend reading this book. And who knows, you might like the second book. I just didn't. In 8th place, we have The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Now, this is the third book in the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. The first book is Scythe, second book is The Thunderhead. If you want to be fucked with how you look at life, at specifically humanity, pick this series up. I actually finished this book in January, so way back, in the beginning of 2020. At first, I'll be honest, I did not like the third book. But when I sat back and I thought about what message Neil Shusterman was trying to portray, specifically about religion, I was blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just, mind fucked in a good way. And it really made me question my humanity and my outlook on life. And if that's something you enjoy, highly recommend picking up this series. I absolutely loved the third book. In 7th place, we have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Before you ask, yes, I have finished the entire series. I finished it again back in January. I fell in love with the Grisha universe even more. So just for context, I had already read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom before I picked up this trilogy. And I just got so excited when I was finally putting, stuff together where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, and it was more explained in this book. If you are a fan of Russian folklore with a twist, I'd highly recommend picking up this series. I enjoyed it so much. I loved the main character. I really enjoyed it. It made my heart warm. And this TV show's coming out soon. What more reason to pick this book up? And I'll be honest, I like the Darkling. I like the Darkling more than Nikolai. Fight me in the comments. In 6th place, we have Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I loved this book. If you want Gothic, but set it in Mexico, but then set it in the 50s, pick this book up. Mind blown. I purposely went in not wanting to know anything, and it just blew me away. This is the first proper horror book that I read, and I just loved it. I need to read more horror books now because this just opened my world to a whole new genre. I also personally connected to this book because I'm Mexican, and the part in Mexico where this book takes place is really close to where my family is from. And I also really liked reading a character that had the same features as me. It was just really heartwarming to read about a Mexican as the main character set in Mexico. And I know the culture, I know the language. Oh, so well done. Please pick this up if you are into gothic horror. In 5th place, we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Holy shit. This is much different from her Grisha universe. This takes place at Yale. If you thought the Grishaverse blew your mind away, then you are not prepared for this book. If you love paranormal fantasy, pick up this book. It follows these 8 secret societies at Yale. It was just mind-blowing. And also the way that Leigh writes it and how she presents the story is so different than anything that I've personally read. I enjoyed it so much. Blown away. Absolutely loved it. Terrified of ever visiting Yale, but I really enjoyed this book. In 4th place, we have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Gay. Gay, 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 gay. I absolutely love it. If you are looking for a gay romance that takes place between the Prince of Wales and the first son, pick this baby up. Go pick it up. It will make you happy. It will make you sad. It will make you feel so many things, but I can guarantee you'll finish it like that. You'll be sucked in 3 a.m. As someone a part of the LGBTQ community, I really needed this book. I love gay romances so much. If that's something you're into, you're gonna highly enjoy this book. We have made it to the top 3. The top 3. My top 3 books of 2020. In 3rd place, we have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Y'all knew I am such a huge fan of this world. I was blown away. I was blown away. It has been a while since like a Sarah J. Maas book, quite honestly, that I've flown through a fantasy, but not just flown through it, was immersed in it, was obsessed with it, was obsessed with the characters, the world, everything about it. If you're craving a fantasy with clever and unforeseen twists and turns, pick this baby up. Also, it has a really cool twist on vampires. Like, what more do you want? I want to say more, but I personally enjoyed not knowing a lot about it. It just made learning everything all the more. Ooh! Warning though, this is a very steamy book. As in steamy, I mean very sexy, very how can I say, not PG. So warning if that's something you're not comfortable with. This was a book that I actually picked up because someone that I followed on Instagram was just raving about it. Like, I absolutely love it. This is my favorite read so far of the year. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a pretty big statement to make. Like, your favorite read of the year. Gosh. And then recently, right after she posted that, the book went on sale on Kindle for $1.99. And so I grabbed it. I bought it. Of course I did. $1.99. I'm not gonna throw that chance away. So I got it. I read it. Devoured it. Then I had to buy myself a physical copy. But if you want to know more or you've read this book, I have a book talk about it. I'll put it somewhere up here. Not to flex, but I have it signed. In 2nd place, we have Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh. This book blessed the beginning of my 2020 year. I read this book before the mess of what is 2020 hit, and I fell in love with this series. I am so excited to see where this new series leads. If you're a fan of Sarah J. Maas and you haven't read this book, what are you doing? I do personally think it is best to go into this book not knowing anything. I know some people said that it was confusing at first, but just so you know, this is an adult fantasy series, and adult series tend to be more heavy on the world building, whereas YAs, usually they kind of just dive in. Sarah does do a lot of world building in this book, but I guarantee you it is worth it. It is worth it. But that's all I'm going to say about this, because I do personally believe it is best to go in basically knowing nothing. Like nothing. Like don't even read the jacket where it has the summary. Don't do it. Don't even look at it. Don't look at it right now. Just go into it. And also because this is an adult series, it does deal with heavy topics. There are many graphic scenes, both violently and sexually. So if that's something you're not comfortable with, be warned. Sarah is one of my favorite authors, and her writing just makes me so happy. So her blessing us with this new series, chef's kiss. Not to flex again, but it's signed. In first place, my favorite book of 2020 is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in From Blood and Ash series. I'm not going to say anything about this book because again, it is the second book in the series. For all y'all who's read this book, you know, I am so excited for A Crown of Gilded Bones, which comes out in April of 2021. This was everything that I wanted it to be and more. I usually am pretty disappointed with, that sounds so bad. I am usually, when it comes to any series, for some reason the second book kind of flops compared to the first one. This book did not do that. This Miss Number 2, she ascended. She said, here I am. She really delivered with this book. Again, if you've read this book, I have a book talk about it. I'll link it somewhere up here. But yeah, this is my favorite book of 2020. Oh, I loved it so much. I don't even know where this series is gonna go. I have no idea. Jennifer writes so beautifully, so cleverly, where I'm like, I'm on my toes. I'm like, I don't know what's happening, when, but in such a good way. I feel like I'm going on and on about this book without talking about it because I don't want to spoil y'all because it's the second book of the series. But please pick up this series. And I'll be honest, I battled between which of these two books was my favorite book of 2020. I literally had to just sit down and like hyper-analyze everything about these two books. My mind was going crazy and I felt like I was betraying both books. I'm like, no, but what, this was so good, but what about this one, but this and this? And both were amazing. It was a close run, but in the end, Miss A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire came through. She outshined, but just barely. If there are any of these books that I mentioned that are in your top 10 from this year, please let me know. And if there were no books that I mentioned that were a part of your top 10 books of 2020, please let me know. I want to know. I want to add to my TBR pile. I hope you have a great rest of the year. This year has been really rough for all of us, but I've been so fortunate to have found healing in all these books that I read, and books just have this weird magical power to make you feel so much better, to escape your reality. I am so fortunate to have read so many books that allowed me to do just that. Those are all my top 10 books of 2020. I'm Mesa. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more, like this video and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more of my beautiful face, you can follow me on all my social medias, which are linked down below. I hope you have a great rest of your year. Bye! Oh, no, shit! Oh no, I bent the page! Do you see that? I bent the page. Fuck! Are you all okay? I keep fucking it up.